Good morning, all you homesteader wannabes out there. It is another very nice December day here at the ranch, and today we are going to be getting ready to start the build of what will be a physical therapy clinic slash apothecary slash workout room, multi-purpose. Behind me here, that's the area that we're going to be building on. And to get started with that, we're going to be building some piers. Well, we're going to be getting ready to pour concrete for piers for that build. So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up a little workshop in our makeshift cattle panel hoop house workshop right here. Let me show you what I'm doing. This is our big tool shop storage area, and I've set up a little spot here where I can do some cutting with the miter saw. We've got to make 60 pieces, cut 60 pieces of wood to put together into a form for those piers. So what I've done is I set up my miter saw here, and onto that I've hooked up my vacuum to catch most of the dust and all. It's hooked up here to the miter saw. I've gone ahead and measured and set a little mark here so that I know where my how long I want my boards without having to measure every one. I'll just set it to that mark, cut. Luckily, we have a whole bunch of scrap pieces of 2x6 that we took out of that barn that we dismantled back in Kaysville. And so I'm using those. I'm hoping I have enough. Like I said, I've got to cut 60 pieces, so we'll see how it goes. I hope I have enough. All right, I've cut a whole bunch of them. I don't know how many. I wasn't going to count them one by one. There's no way I'd keep track. I'd lose track for sure. So I'm just going to count them out now, see how many I've done, see how many I've got left to do. 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. And I have 2 over there, 53. All right. Now I can keep track of doing 7 more. Well, I got those done. Yeehaw. That really wasn't that bad. I thought it might take a little bit longer, but with the mark there, but that made it go quick. Just set it up, cut, went right through them. So now I've got 60 pieces there. I've got to put them together, 4 pieces per pier, and I've just got to secure them into a square. It'll go on the top of the pier. So this is what the box is going to look like. And since I'm working with some scrap wood that's not in the best shape, as I go through these pieces, I've got to look at them and see, okay, which side of the board is in the best shape and which edge of the board is in the best shape. And I'm putting the best on the inside and on the bottom because the bottom will actually become the top. It'll be flipped over. I'm using the bottom to give me a good flush level surface, doing it on this table here. That way when I'm setting it up and on the ground, that top edge will be level all the way around. So now I just got to secure these pieces together. Well, there we have it. 15 boxes made. So this is the location of the building. It's going to be at the front of the property. Here's the entrance from one side of the circular drive that goes around and out there. So this is going to be the building here. Got to go through and mark all the spots. I got started by getting an initial line of marks where we need to drill the holes. You can see here I've got one more to put out there, and there's going to be 15 total. So let's get it marked out. All right, just in time. Got our marks put on the ground. Thought we'd close out this day with this beautiful sunset we've got going on behind us. But tomorrow then, I have hired a friend with a hydraulic auger to drill these holes. I wasn't sure that ours would do it, and rather than take our backhoe off and put the auger on and get out and find out we can't get ours through it, because ours just digs with the weight of the auger and weight of Brady on it. But I think a hydraulic press down into the ground with a big old tractor on it will do the job. So tomorrow we're digging holes, and then next week we're pouring concrete. So looking forward to that. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, we just finished getting all those holes dug out. We got our neighbor Lynn to come and use his tractor to do it. We chose him because even though we had access to an auger from our neighbors, friends, the Woods, we could hook that onto our tractor and use that like we have in the past. But the ground's kind of frozen already, and we have to take our backhoe off, get that all hooked up. It's a big pain in the butt to do it, to get it all set up. And I just had this feeling that we'd get on there, and our tractor does not have any power to press down into the ground. It's just the weight of the auger. And I just had a feeling we're just going to sit there and just really struggle to dig with that auger. Lynn's tractor, his is hydraulic, and so he's able to press through that. And we definitely saw in places for sure that it definitely took some power to get through some of those areas.
Yeah.
All in all, how do you think it went?
It went really well. I think it went a lot more quickly than it would have if we had done it ourselves.
Yeah, I think we would have spent all day here.
Yeah, absolutely we would have.
Yeah, so it was pretty quick. Holes look good. They're good. The depth of the holes are a good 3.5 feet deep. We got to dig some more of the dirt out ourselves, but that's okay. And so now we got to set the forms.
Well, we're back from lunch. We're back from helping our neighbor. And now we're just going to be leveling the dirt from around. Where's my hand? There it is. We're going to be leveling the dirt.
It's connected to your arm.
I know. I couldn't find it though.
Hand bone's connected to the wrist bone.
We're going to be leveling the dirt around the holes so that we can then set, level, and stake the frames in. I'm not going to film the leveling part because that's boring.
Here's a little action of it. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
There you
go. You guys have the gist of it.
You got it.
And then we'll film like 2 or 3 of the forms going in.
Yeah, good enough.
So you guys know what's happening. All right, you can see that the ground has been leveled. The forms have been placed. A bunch of useless stakes and twine has been put up.
Not useless.
And we're finally going to start actually leveling and staking down the forms.
You can be very happy that we didn't film all that because it was incredibly boring and tedious. You would have just seen us going around measuring, staking over and over and over again.
And it was even more boring and tedious to do than it would have been to watch.
I found it exhilarating.
You would. You would.
Our big worry now is that we're going to try to stake these, get the forms level, but the forms are so close to the edges of the holes, I don't know. This is going to be hard. I'm going to try. Some of them look like, okay, we can probably do it without a problem. But some of them, I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. Like that.
You can see the edge right through there. So we just don't put any on that side.
Yeah.
Or this side, or this side, or this side. And we should be fine.
Some of the holes are kind of like that. Some of these we may just leave there and then just adjust them by hand as we pour.
As they cure, just adjust them a little bit.
But I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot here, see what happens. Not too bad. That one went okay. It's going to be this other side where we got a massive hole on this side.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I can stake it like at an angle from here and an angle from there to get the, because that's the side we got to lift.
Uh-huh. I mean, you could put one straight up and down right here on the corner. Great. Now I just need to actually do it when it's level and stuff.
Yep, now we got to get level on it. That's a starting point. Kind of caving the ground a little bit, but
just a touch.
Just a touch.
Love it. Is it level? There you go.
Close enough for what we're doing.
Heck yeah. Love to hear that. Let's just go do it. 1, 2, 3, 4,
14 more times.
There you go.
Boy, we did it. I was a little bit worried if we get her done today, because it was a slow go between trying to get it all squared up and positioned correctly. And then with the forms being just barely bigger than the holes. I thought about making them bigger, then I decided not to. I should have made them a little bigger. Would have been easier.
Yep.
That's okay. We got it. They'll work. So, yeah.
And you've already covered what this is all going to be for and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You think so? You're pretty sure that you've mentioned that this is where we were going to be putting the clinic.
Yes, I know.
And the strength training facility, and that we're doing a raised floor with the pier system. And
yep.
Okay.
I'm pretty dang sure I mentioned all that. It is pour day for our piers, and they're going to be coming in, I don't know, what time is it?
It is 12:18.
They're coming in about 45 minutes. So we're just finishing up some stuff. Brady cleaned out the holes with the post hole digger. That was a little
more difficult than we thought it was going to be, because we didn't think of the fact that we can't open the post hole digger much of the way when it's, you know, all the way 3 feet down inside a hole, and the handle's
more
only
than
3.5 feet long.
3.5 feet down. Yeah, and it's a 9-inch hole, or a little bit bigger than that, because. But yeah, that was a little pain. But he got it done.
Oh, and the dirt is super fine. And so there's one hole, and it was pretty well filled. I was like, oh, at least these first couple bits will be super easy. And nothing came out, because I'd get it down, boom, open the post hole digger up all the way, or close it all the way, I guess, and lift the dirt out, and it would all just sift right out of it.
I had tried a couple of holes myself, and it was just slow going. So I was happy to turn that over to Brady. While I went and built a few forms for, we got behind Brady there. I'm anticipating we'll have some extra concrete. So I built some forms for some 2x3 steps. They're not steps like up, but you know, on the ground. What are those are called? But anyway, so we're now, Brady's cutting not rebar. We're using that mesh to fill those forms. Plus, we're going to cut pieces. Brady's cutting some bits out like this that we're also going to put then in the piers to help stabilize those piers. So that's what we're doing, getting ready for the concrete pour. Kind of quickly stake these things down so that when we pour, the frame doesn't lift up. I don't care about level on these because we're going to just screed it to the top of them. So I don't care that they're level to the ground because they're just going to be walking steps. So I just need to make sure we hold them down. The ground is definitely frozen. Now Brady's laying out our little square pieces that have to go inside. These things here will just fit right inside there to try to give a little added support. And then for a final through, Brady's gonna run through and check level, just make sure nothing's totally out of whack. And we get to observe the beanie top.
How's it up again? They never stay on my head properly. Every beanie I own likes to work its way up and off. Well, folks, some exciting stuff happened, and you missed all of it. Clint's phone died, and then we were running around in a hurry, so I didn't set mine up. But what happened was we were getting everything poured. And, you know, we ordered a little extra cement because we didn't want to not have all of our posts filled. So we, ordered a little extra just to make sure. And Clint made some rectangular forms that we could put all the extra into just so we'd have little blocks that we could place elsewhere if ever we needed them, or make like a little path with them, whatever we needed to. We'd figure it out later. Just wanted to make sure that we used all the cement that we were getting. Well, he made 4 of them. You can see him over there screening them right now. And we filled all 4. So then we were like, oh shoot, there's still some more. Let's make 2 more real quickly. And you can see those 2 right there. But then they got filled. They're like, oh, we better make 2 more. And those got filled. And then we made this one right here. And I was like, Dad, you better just go make another one right now. And so he did. And another. And another. And there was still leftover cement. And now we're just dumping some on the ground. Because we got too much of it. Because Clint
I may have ordered just a little too much.
Clint's bad at math. Can't figure out what a cubic yard is. And neither can I.
Well, I did.
They can't hear you. Your mic's... Did you turn your mic on? Okay, they can't hear you.
Well, I did calculate a square foot for the holes. And they're a 9-inch circular hole. So it's a cylinder 9 inches wide, probably a little bit more. So every hole I calculated larger than what was on there. Oh well. Now we have some walking steps.
Yep. And we also have our wonderful neighbor Mark here helping us. He's hiding his face. Doesn't want the government to know where he's at. He's one of our favorites. He's much better than Chris. So, but yeah, so now we're just screening the tops of all these, and then we'll start finishing them. And hopefully at some point we take a lunch break, because
hopefully, because I haven't had a thing.
Yeah, Clint hasn't eaten anything. I had an orange, a protein shake, and a protein bar. about 5 hours ago. So one of us is going to pass out. We finished our finish work. Tried to put clean edges on it. I did a terrible job.
So did I. It was not easy. It was, I don't know if the stuff was drying too much or freezing.
Either one
or,
seems possible.
or if it was just that we didn't work the top layer enough to get a good cream up. But as we were pulling the edges, catching rocks and creating gaps, and it was not pretty.
We did our best. Our best was bad.
That's all you can do. Do your best.
And now, as the sun has set on us, we are putting the blankets over the concrete, tucking it into bed so that it can dry. It's not great coverage.
Barely covering each post. So, I mean, it's most of the blanket is covering the open spots. So,
but again, best we could do with what we got.
That's right. Well, hopefully it'll work. So
yeah, it stopped snowing, but in case it does start snowing again, the blankets will at least keep that off of the concrete.
Yeah. Although we probably did put a bunch of straw and dirt and everything else on top of the concrete, just from dragging the blankets around and then already being a little bit wet and stuck to the ground. And
but that just adds texture.
Yeah. But hey, that's all you can do. You got to just do your best, right? That's all you can do, and go from there. I'm sure it'll work out.
All right, folks, doing a little voiceover right here because this shot, Clint and I didn't have our mics on, and it was windy out. But I had come out at night to go to the greenhouse to do my workout, and I had noticed that the blankets were looking a little extra lumpy on the concrete. So I had to get real close to check them out because I couldn't really see from a distance because it's pitch black out. There's cloud cover, thick fog, so no light, couldn't see anything. But it's 11:45. I came in and told Clint, hey, gotta secure the blankets down. So we running around in the dark, trying to put some weights on the blankets to keep them over the cement that was curing. But it's just one of the fun things that you get to do when you're out living on the homestead, all the fun little stuff that happens out here.